Alright, Platoon, fall in. I'm a Joe, he's a Jarhead. This is the coming together bunker.
Joe tried to do it himself, that's why it's not all done yet.
No,
Jarhead
Joe
couldn't
did this entire side by himself. Footage should be released this coming up.
Jarhead was here, would have been done by now. So.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, what if Jarhead was here? Meaning that you weren't.
No.
You were not.
I can only stomach you for so long, Joe. Especially when you're trying to work. It's laughable.
Oh,
I can't handle it. So in today's show, we got all the good stuff coming up. We're going to talk about some bombs in Pakistan.
Yep.
Some robots that do what now?
We'll get there.
Whoa, it's going to be crazy. We're going to talk about some Underground Railroad people.
Heck yes.
Some awesome people there we're going to talk about. And then we got a lot of trash coming up.
Word.
Talk trash. We are.
About trash.
First, we're going to get inspired. Inspirational thought for the day.
I dig it.
Actually comes from Operation Underground Railroad.
Nice.
These people are dedicated to freeing kids from the sex traffickers, right?
Right.
So their mission statement says, "To the children who we pray for daily, we say, your long night is coming to an end. Hold on, we are on our way. And to those captors and perpetrators, even you monsters who dare offend God's precious children, we declare to you, be afraid. We are coming for you." Imagine if that was
some.
Right.
Get some.
How awesome is that? Just tremble a little bit just saying that out loud.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Great. Could you imagine if that was like our motto every single morning we woke up, we said that? To you people who are oppressed, I'm coming. I'm here to help. And to you scumbags out there doing the oppressing, stand by. Hurt is on its way.
Yeah, there is an organization that does that. It belongs.
Don't say the Army.
I'm saying the Army.
Everybody's going to be laughing at you right now,
Special
Joe.
Forces, baby. De oppresso liber. Freedom from oppression. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not. I'm sorry, but they don't have to tattoo it on their arm to remember what it's supposed to say.
Everybody in the Marines is Special Force. Nice try.
Oh, everybody in the Marines is special. All right. That's S-P-E-S-H-U-L.
What just happened?
I spelled better than you.
Oh, Joe. Let me get you a crayon. That'll help.
This week in history. This week in history. It's funny. In hindsight. It's funny in hindsight.
I'm laughing.
So this week in 1925, the volume 1 of Mein Kampf was. I'm sorry, that's Mein Kampf.
My struggle.
Yeah, actually, Mein Kampf it'd be Yiddish, which is modified Hebrew for my complaining.
Is there really?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
It is. The first 400 pages of Mein Kampf was published in 1925, and it's. I don't know if you've ever read Mein Kampf. I've read Mein Kampf. In hindsight, it is hilarious.
Adolf Hitler.
Adolf Hitler's wrote a book in prison after he did 9 whole months of his 5-year sentence for treason. The first 400 pages was published as Volume 1, and then in 1927, Volume 2 came out, and in 1933 it was published altogether. But in 1925, the first 400 pages of this book is nothing but griping about France, griping about the need to expand into Russia and give Lebensraum, living room to the German people, and griping about what he called mongrel races, which is as opposed to pure Aryan races.
Yeah. So I guess the second volume of the book was all complaining about the Jews.
Oh, well, it is. Well, he considers them a mongrel race. Volume 2 was all about National Socialism and stuff. That's when he started to get into his flow. But the first 400 pages, like, it is hold your sides funny in historical context, because he just sounds like such a whiny little punk. I mean, he sounds like a little emo kid, dude.
I don't know how people ever thought this was some sort of political theory or government type book. It's not. He's whining.
He is. It's literally him whining for 400 pages. What happened because of it is one of the greatest tragedies to ever befall humanity, but to actually read the book and think about what that little friggin' Yutz did is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, a guy can make a career out of whining. It's awesome.
I read a couple excerpts online. That's about all you're going to get out of me.
Yeah.
It was enough.
It's funny.
Okay, first article of the day. Current events coming at you. A lot of stuff is happening in the world, Joe, and then mainstream media has no clue of what's going on. I get that Putin and Trump shook hands and they talked about stuff that didn't solve anything. I want to know about that.
That's all that was on the news today.
Yeah.
That is literally it. That was any channel you turn to, that was it.
And I think that should be enough, right? Putin and Trump sat down, they shook hands, accomplished nothing. Move on. Like
Check.
Pakistan. Pakistan.
Pakistan.
Big bomb went off. It kind of happens in Pakistan, kind of loaded with terrorists in that area of the country. In a place called, here comes Joe, Mastung?
You know what? I'm going with it. Just go with it.
Yes.
Just go
Mastung, Pakistan, 149 people died. 9 kids included. Did you hear about this? That's like an entire boat sinking, an entire airline crashing. Nowhere on the news. It's not even in Pakistan. Because the world is so poor, and they're actually going through elections right now. That's where the bomb went off, was at a campaign rally. They're so poor, and it happened in a region that was extra poor, that they didn't care about it. 150 people, 9 kids died. Why is this not a thing? Why are we not hearing about this? Tell me.
Because it doesn't concern Trump.
Yeah, exactly. So Pakistan's full of corruption, right? Their ex-prime minister, Nawaz Sharif, full of corruption, right? He was in power for way too long, so he's in jail for 10 years, just recently arrested. This thing is important to me. I get that it's Pakistan, I get that they're loaded with terrorists, but it's important to us as a world to understand because it tells us that terrorist groups like ISIS, who claim credit for that attack, are still activated. They're still out there, they're still strong.
And they're getting bolder again. Right. And they're starting to reconstitute.
This kind of crap just emboldens them, right? This is like another flyer for them to go hand out to other extremists, other jihadists. Look at what we did.
And the only reason they're doing it, there's nothing to be gained by this, except when you blow up an election, you delegitimize the government. Like, how can they protect you as a government when they can't even protect you from us doing this?
Right.
That's literally all it is. That's the PSYOP, that's the psychological operations message they're sending. The government can't protect you. Turn to us. We'll stop doing this and we'll protect you. Right. They're trying to reassert political power.
By fear.
That is the definition of terrorism, is the use of fear and violence to achieve political aims.
And it's working, right? Because we can show it. They're still in activated power. Now, you're not going to be able to just solve the problem of terrorism altogether.
Nope.
You can't solve that ideology.
No.
But what we're talking about is it's not a crusade, right? We're not going to go over there and try to convert anybody or try to slaughter a bunch of people. But we've got to try to contain it where we can. And when we know where they're at, when we know where they're activated in Pakistan, go over there and put some punches in the throats. Drop some bombs. We don't need to put boots on the ground. We got technology. Oh, there they are right in the crosshairs. Kablooey. That's all I'm asking for. And it's up to us, the people, to get involved. All right? We can't sit here in our comfy chairs and start pointing fingers at the government. Oh, you should go do something.
Oh, that's it. That's the problem. The someone should do something mentality.
Right.
Because it's never, you know what? I'm sick of these dudes. I'm going to go friggin' put foot to butt.
Yeah.
No, it's always someone, nebulous, not defined, needs to go do something, nebulous, not defined. You know, I want someone else to go into harm's way on my behalf so that I'll feel better.
Right. Without having to do it. But you can do something. You don't have to sit idly by.
Bingo.
Little things work. Hashtags work. Hashtag terror, hashtag terrorism. If you guys start looking this stuff up, if we together start Googling this type of stuff, researching this type of stuff, it catches on, right? When it becomes a hot topic on the internet, the mainstream media is going to catch on, then the congressman's going to catch on, and there we go.
Or just address your congressman directly.
File a
Tag them when you post about this stuff.
Easy enough.
You know, and file, what is it called?
Congret. Yep, I filed a bunch of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't afraid.
Where do you got to do that?
Online. Point and click. Easy as that.
We'll put it in the description.
Yeah. Idaho.gov. Boop, 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 boop.
Is that literally how you type?
You gotta have the sound effects too. Let's talk about robots, Joe. I want to talk about robots.
No, I really don't want to talk about robots.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. But we're gonna anyway. So there is actually it's a growth industry.
They're growing.
There's a growth industry for sex robots to the point where it is becoming an addiction for people.
Sex robots.
Yes.
Robots that are made to have sex with people.
Yes, correct.
I don't understand.
The technology is in its infancy. Articulated, flexible, like store mannequin, but they're improving the technology, you know, by leaps and bounds every day to the point where it's going to be like AI.
Yeah.
I can't even begin to say the problems I have with this. It's the evil in how this is marketed. Because it's marketed, it's a twofold marketing thing. Couples that are, you know, having marital problems,
yeah.
And it's marketed for lonely dudes.
Yeah.
That's the first angle of it, is those two. You know what? I have so many problems with that, but okay, I can pass it by. The other angle they're trying to market this on is as an outlet for sexual problems. Like, they market these things as like, hey, do you have a violent sex fantasy you've always wanted to try? Take it out on the robot. You're not going to hurt anybody. It's a way for you to, you know, safely and healthily release your aggression.
Which is, wow. I mean, you think you're helping somebody with the problem.
No, it's making it exponentially worse.
Right?
That's the diet side of the problem. That's not as deep as this disgusting rabbit hole goes.
Yep. For those of you who haven't had the sex education talk, this is where you want to pause it, because we're going to start talking about pedophilia here and how these robots are being engineered.
Yeah, if you got kids watching, go ahead and send them away now.
It's real. They are making robots for those monsters.
When I was researching this today, I had to ask him to step out of his office and go on a walk with me. I about threw up. Like, no joke. I about hurled today just doing the research for this show, because, you know, he's right. They make child sex robots for pedophiles, and they market it as, you know, it's a way for them to, you know, engage in something that they enjoy without hurting a real kid.
Okay.
And this is not like, you know, a petite woman, like, you know, a 5'1" or, you know, 4'11" woman. This is a sex robot engineered to mimic a prepubescent child.
Okay, so we're going to take a step back and look at the picture overall, right? Because this is just one leg.
It's the symptom of a larger problem.
Of pornography, right? You can point to pornography of a lot of these type of problems. Pedophiles is one of them, right? They recently just approached the LGBTQ community trying to get involved, saying, hey, we are attracted to minors. That is our lifestyle. We feel excluded. You need to include us into your lifestyle. We want to be a part of that community.
And to their credit, the LGBT community was like, hell no.
But this is why it's important to draw a moral line in the sand. 50 years ago, we would have laughed at your face if you tried to get married to someone of the same sex. If I tell you 50 years from now that they're allowing pedophiles to roam free and that that's a thing, and that parents, dads can do nothing about a 50-year-old man wanting to have sex with your 12-year-old daughter, do you think that's funny? Do you think that's not going to happen?
It's already trying to happen.
Yeah,
they're already trying to pass legislation for it.
So 50 years from now, where do you think we're going to be if we don't put your foot down and draw that line in the sand?
Bingo.
But like we said, there's a bigger problem. We've got to get to the addiction of pornography. There's a lot of good programs out there.
You know what? I will never judge anyone for having an addiction. I fight my own every day.
We've all got our demons.
Absolutely. I will never judge someone for having an addiction. That said, you have to fight it. And especially if your addiction involves any kind of intimate or sexual feelings toward a child, you are not okay. You are not normal. You have a mental illness and you need to get help. You need to get treatment.
Yep. Don't be embarrassed to go with somebody.
No,
okay?
It's better that you do that than that you act on it.
Okay, lots of programs out there.
There are a lot of really good programs that are non-judgmental, that will help you.
I recommend the 12-step program.
Absolutely.
They're awesome.
They are. They're amazing programs.
Go there and get help.
Seriously.
Talking of trash, big trash going on. Now this is something you got to do a lot of research and you got to connect the dots to find out what's going on, because back in 2012, China said they're not going to be taking America's recyclables anymore, right? So
Did you know China was taking our recyclables? Because that was kind of news to me.
Yeah. So I'm sure you've seen pictures. It's nothing new. China does take our trash from us because we sell it to them. They're literally buying our garbage, and they say that they're recycling it, but they have no human rights over there, right? So what they're doing is they're buying our garbage and they literally just dump it in the streets, and it became a big human rights issue, and now they're actually catching on. So back in 2012, they said, okay, we're not buying your garbage anymore. So what are we going to do? Over 70% of our recyclables, our papers and our plastic, was going to China, and now they're cut us off, and it's starting to backflow into us, right? We're getting to the point where people are being charged more for their trash to be taken out from the curb, and people are actually throwing the stuff that's getting recyclables, people that want to recycle, it's actually going to the garbage, because we got nowhere to take it. We weren't ready for this as a country. So, a couple quick statistics here that kind of took my breath away. The average person, me, throws away 7 pounds of trash per day, which comes to over 2,500 pounds of trash a year. That's just me alone.
That's just you talking.
What What do you mean?
Never mind.
Exactly. So, now the U.S. is not the largest country in the world population-wise. We're not at the top, right? But we are at the top for making trash.
Really?
We're really good at that. Yep. So, 90% of all our trash does go to a landfill. So we're sucking up all of our land resources, right? To just go to dump our garbage in a landfill or incinerators where they go and they burn it, which is a good thing because it creates energy. Power your home, so good
I really
stuff.
hope you meant incinerators.
Incinerators?
Don't worry about it.
What's wrong with incinerators? Is that another thing? Incinerators?
There you go. Like you accidentally said it right. I'm good for you,
It's
man.
all the same thing, right? Okay. So the problem with this system is that it's one way, right? We're using stuff and we throw it away. All right? We only have a small selection of natural resources, right? Before long, we're going to be burnt out. We're going to have to be cutting down more trees. We cannot grow trees at the rate that we are cutting them down and using them. Same with our natural resources. You can only dig so far in the earth to get your heavy metal, your coppers, and your coal out before it's all gone. We are running out of natural resources.
Yep.
So we have to reduce, we have to reuse, and we have to recycle.
And this isn't like, you know, granola munching, Birkenstock wearing hippie talk. This is just being responsible with the resources we're given.
Right.
Like, people gripe about the government spending too much money. They don't want their programs to go away. You have to marshal the resources you have.
Yeah.
We have a finite amount of natural resources. If we consume more than we can replace, or if we consume, you know, more than there is, that's it. That's all we get. This is simply good resource with good responsible action with natural resources.
The point is we just need to use what we have effectively and efficiently. All right? Don't think you're just going to throw your stuff in your garbage and turn your back. Because a lot of stuff is starting to go to third world countries now, right? Because they want America's business. So places like Kenya, Indonesia, India, they're buying our trash now. And what do you think they're doing with it? They don't care. That's why they're third world countries. That's why they're run by dictators. That's why they're so corrupt. They're literally taking our garbage and dumping it in the streets. We can't turn our back on that. Now, we don't want to get too crazy and too carried away with this stuff, but just do what little you can. For me in my community, I have curbside recycling. So my recycling bin is actually fuller than my garbage bin. Throw my tin cans, my aluminum cans, cardboard in there. Just what little I can.
I like it.
So there's actually good programs out there where we're throwing up a hashtag zero waste. It's something that there's 800 cities in the United States that are doing this zero waste. We're actually paying for the amount of stuff you throw away, which I kind of think it has some pros and cons because you don't want to force people to start throwing stuff on the side of the road now, but you need people to have a real in-your-face responsibility of how much trash you were throwing away. Could you imagine if you were being charged per pound, $1 per pound, the crap you're throwing away, $2,500 per person? I think that would make a mark.
That's a lot.
I think that would leave an impression on us. I don't think like I said, there's some pros and cons to it. It might cause some bad behavior, but we can do something. There are little things we can start doing individually to stop this trash that America's putting out there on the rest of the world.
Correct.
Stop being a trash, Joe.
I have to. I associate with you. That like reduces my standing automatically.
Nothing you can do about it. I get it. Next to me, you're always going to be garbage. So.
Oh, that's how it is. Okay.
Yep. Makes sense, right?
No, not really.
Yeah, it does.
No.
Woohoo! Garbage Joe. Hey, Garbage Joe. That's our new hashtag, right? Hashtag Garbage Joe. So fitting.
Don't do that again. That looks ridiculous.
Haven't you? That's what Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake did.
Yeah, and it looked stupid then too.
What?
Yeah.
Hashtag Garbage Joe.
Okay.
It's got a nice ring to it.
No, it really doesn't.
Rolls right off the tongue. I love it.
This is me restraining my infantry jokes so bad right now. Okay, San Francisco. Speaking of trash.
Not all of San Francisco. Got some friends up there. We love you guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I got a ton of friends in San Francisco too.
Pretty
Y'all's city has the dome.
Your politicians.
Your politicians has the dome.
Infected.
Big time.
Do something about it before it spreads.
Right.
Get in there quick.
Y'all have a problem with homeless people. Just pooping on the street.
Pooped on the street.
Poop on the street.
Mayor's getting
They
involved.
examined a 156 block area of downtown San Francisco. They found 100 needles. Every single block had piles of trash on it. They found 100 used needles and 300 piles of human poop.
So, what bothers me here is that somebody in your city was being paid by your tax dollars to walk around 150 city blocks counting turds. That's what your tax dollars are going to.
No, actually, well, yeah, yes. And you're spending in fiscal year 2018, you were spending, $240 million on your homeless problem in San Francisco.
Counting turds.
Counting turds. But your mayor, she's not imposing penalties for doing so. She's spending money on homeless outreach groups to go and talk to homeless people and ask them not to poop on the streets. Or if they poop on the streets, to clean up after themselves.
So tax dollars are being spent by the mayor on people to go point at other people and say, don't poop on the street. People
who have nowhere else to go because they're homeless. They can't just go to their bathroom in their house because they don't have a house. This is a symptom of a larger problem. This is not, withheld only to San Francisco. This is exactly what you get when you fund handouts instead of hands up. If you are not actively working to get the person out of the situation they're in, if you are just sustaining them at that homeless level, you are not helping them. You are throwing away $240 million a year to maintain people in the same disgusting squalor they live in now. You are zero benefit added to them.
And what bothers me about that is you're actually taking the opportunity, you're actually taking agency away from the people to do something, right? The charities, the local churches, they want to get involved.
This is what churches do.
But then the government steps in and says, no, you hold off. We will force people to give us their money and go pay them to go count turds.
Right. Let people spend their money in their own churches doing the actual work. There has never been a government program that could not be done better and cheaper by the private sector, and especially by private sector charity.
And we don't need statistics for this. We don't need to go look at reports. We know that people who are volunteering will do a much better job than the government stooges who are being paid minimum wage to go count turds.
Because it is a volunteer thing. That by definition, they're doing it because they want to be there. They don't have to be.
Right.
Versus paying some petty little bureaucrat or paying someone in an outreach program
to go tell them
who has to now, for a paycheck, go out and talk to people he doesn't want to associate with.
And that's just going to be hard, because you imagine having that conversation, like Joe said, we need you to stop pooping on the street. Where am I supposed to poop? Gotta go poop.
Yeah. Oh, clean up after yourself. With what?
You could use your hat. Probably the only thing it could be used for anyway. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're the one with
the piss hat, right?
You're the one with the Under Armour here on.
Right?
Yeah.
You scared?
I am not remotely intimidated by you at all.
So there's a bigger problem.
And it's not San Francisco's problem, and we can't treat it like it's someone else's problem. It's your problem. Wherever you are watching this, I guarantee you there are homeless people in your area that need help. Go help them.
Right. Hashtag volunteer.
Through your church.
Right. It's not, like I said, you don't got to get overly crazy about these things. Every little bit helps.
Seriously.
Get involved. Just be aware of the organizations that are there and do what little you can.
By small and simple things are great things brought to pass.
How about that? Look at Joe. Inspired. Wow.
Yep.
So proud of you. And we got a hero.
We got us a hero.
Operation Underground Railroad.
Yep.
Twice in the same show.
Boom.
They must be awesome.
They are awesome. They're so awesome, I actually donate to them every month. They are a organization. Founder's name is Tim Ballard. He's a former Department of Homeland Security child internet crimes agent.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's got a couple books out there too.
He does. They're really good.
Solid dude.
Yeah, he is an amazing guy. The organization is amazing. It literally exists for no other purpose than to rescue children from the international sex slave trade, which is a growth industry. Like these numbers are... These numbers are growing exponentially every year because of porn. It is people who see something on a website and say, there's a third world country where I can go and actually do that to someone legally.
Yep. There's actually places across the seas where they have like bars, right? Nightclubs where you go in and the kids are literally brought on stage and people vote on them or like bid on them.
It's rape tourism.
Yeah, it really
is. It's insane. Like, I hated doing the research for this. I hated this.
Yeah, it was hard.
It has to be put out there. An Operation Underground Railroad goes into these other countries and rescues kids literally by the hundreds. It is an amazing organization. Look it up. It's OURrescue.org.
Okay.
We'll put it in the description.
So this is what we're talking about, right? You don't need to go overseas and start trying to save these kids yourself from these monsters, but...
There's already people out there doing it.
OUR.
Just help them out.
Be aware. Let people know.
Anything helps.
Hashtag it. Let your friends know on social media.
Bingo.
All those little waves help, right?
Bingo.
Yes, they do. Good show.
Good show.
Good heroes, good stories. Joe, hashtag garbage Joe. You almost made it through this episode. I don't know where we lost you at. If you like what you see...
At least I showed up.
That's something to get Joe to just to show up to his own show. It really is.
As opposed to like Saturday when I was here building this whole set by myself and, you know, lazy Jarhead was somewhere else.
Whining about that? Man, you're such a whiner. You guys like what you see? You want to subscribe? You want to see if Joe's ever going to stop whining? Like the show, subscribe to the show. We're on all the social media platforms.
There's a rumor that if we can get the Platoon up to like company size, we might be able to get Joe or get Jarhead here into a remedial spelling course. So he doesn't have to butcher names of places or names of people anymore.
I don't butcher anything. Besides my enemies. See what I did there?
No.
Boom. Join the Platoon. We're on social media. We want you here. Hoorah.
Hoa. Platoon dismissed.
Woo! Love it.